Joining me today on NYSE Floor Talk is Anand Parikh. He is the CEO and co-founder at Faeth Therapeutics. Anand, it's wonderful to have you here. Thanks for joining me today.
Of course, thank you for having me, Judy.
So, Faeth is an oncology-focused biotech company. What's the overall mission of Faeth Therapeutics in oncology, as well as the tumor types your programs are targeting?
We're taking a differentiated approach to oncology by leveraging metabolism. We're really thinking about how metabolism can rethink the science of cancer, and we're starting by targeting the main mammalian metabolic signaling target in cancer, which is PI3 kinase. So we're taking a multi-node approach to PI3 kinase by inhibiting PI3 kinase and mTOR.
Now, Anand, can you explain the role metabolism plays in the development of a tumor and why the metabolic approach to treating cancer has remained somewhat under the radar?
It's such an interesting question. Metabolism is really the language of life, right? It's the language that allows our cells and cancer cells to grow. So every tumor has aberrant genetic profiles, but those lead to a unique metabolic fingerprint. And what's really interesting at Faeth is we're trying to take advantage of that metabolic fingerprint. Now, the very first cancer treatments, or many of the first pharmaceutical treatments, actually focused on metabolism. But since we sequenced the human genome, we've really over-rotated to thinking about cancer solely as a genetic disease. It has genetic components, but those genetic components lead to a unique metabolic fingerprint, as I mentioned. And so that's really what we're taking advantage of, leveraging those both.
Now tell me, what role does technology play in your drug discovery process?
So the metabolic space, when you think about genes, therapeutic expression, metabolites, and signaling, that's a billion parameter problem space. And so you can't really do that in a lab alone. You've got to think about how machine learning can help you explore that space effectively. So we've developed a first of its kind MetabOS platform that really looks at all those billions of parameters and can help us narrow down the right space to then explore using our proprietary CRISPR screen. So the machine learning shrinks that billion parameter set into something that we can actually explore in the lab. And it's really exciting for us. We think that this is going to be the way that we're going to be able to attack metabolism effectively. Because until now, people have just tried to do it by experiments in the lab, and it's just too large a space to be able to explore effectively that way.
Tell me about Faeth's lead program and any clinical trial successes you've had.
Yeah, so we've been tackling a very difficult to treat pathway, the PI3 kinase mTOR pathway. It's one of the most frequently mutated genes in all of cancer. And in our phase 1B, which was meant to be a safety and tolerability trial, we actually saw incredible responses. We saw a 47% overall response rate in relapsed refractory patients, where usually you wouldn't see much activity at all. And we even saw 3 complete responses in metastatic endometrial cancer patients. You don't see that generally in a phase 1B, let alone in relapsed refractory patients. So we're really excited by that, and we'll be initiating a phase 2 trial in relapsed refractory endometrial cancer patients in July of this year.
All right, well, sounds like exciting things happening. It's a pleasure to talk with you. Thanks for joining me on Floor Talk today.
Of course, thank you so much.